EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they loved their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Tennessee Titans. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fields this way up at the 17. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Well, that return gives him a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And they'll run. This is Trey Sermon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. They'll set up to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Punter Sterling Hoffrichter out now on 4th down. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Just a 30-yard punt that time, and it'll be Titan football. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And the Niners are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Titans, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape, because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4 down territory, even if they don't get it, though. And to give this time to the tailback. Oh, some strong running. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Now they try the right side here. Down to about the 22 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. We also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds. Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over.
Yeah, remember now, the call on the field is what they'll stick with unless they have clear video evidence to the contrary. And I give these officials a lot of credit. Such a tough and demanding job. You and I both know that. Yeah, they make the right call way more often than they get it wrong.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
The 49ers are going to turn over to the special teams crew. The field goal unit is out there now. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
They'll go right back to Evans here on 1st down. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Play action. Here's Hurts. Forced out to his left. Robertson. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 32-yard line. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, He just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing is Hurts. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Hurts. And that will be incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
Tucker McCann out now for the Titans field goal. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. McCann's kick is good. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. Taken at the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They give to Sermon out of the gun. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And the Titans are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. These two teams all tied after 1. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here, 2nd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Hurts. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And now off to the races down the right side. And into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback. If the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Offensively, you might be thinking, what's going on here? 1 for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around, not having that success. Might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
On 2nd and 10, Hurts. Flushed out right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. And, incomplete. Great coverage there. He was in the perfect position defensively to make a play on the football, and it'll bring up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's the backup, Tannehill. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there for Tennessee.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure is good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
Second and 5. Here's Tannehill. And they will eventually eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Evans. And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Darrington Evans with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Titans are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
On 2nd down, it's Sermon. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
56 is mine. 56 is mine. I'm going to back to you. Check.
Lance, a handoff here to Mostert. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
2nd down, here's Mostert again. And he'll get 2 or 3 out of that one as that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL.
56. Month 56. That's a part of that. Queen Jack. Mike 56. Go.
Lance to throw on 3rd and 1. He'll swing this out to Mostert.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Lance. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And Lance will try again on 2nd down. This to the outside, it's Sermon. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And they'll try and run for the first with Sermon. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you they started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And Lance now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Lance now on 1st down. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers have moved out in front. The extra point up and good. And that makes it a 17-10 score. Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Tannehill on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. He's got a man, complete. And finally out of bounds down near the 10-yard line. A big play there just before halftime.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
They'll run here with Evans. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Again, it'll be Evans. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Darrington Evans with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Titans are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they've got less than 30 seconds to go here, so not a lot of time to work with. Looking long for Thomas. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the gun, it's Lance. Buying time to his left. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay. So that'll back them up 5. And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. Here's Lance. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And the Titans are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. Well, they were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick, whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or at worst, a punt. This time they had that opportunity but didn't get it because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows the defense to tighten up their coverage, and they pick that one off.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. To return, here's Agnew. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
So nothing doing there, and that'll make it 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Tannehill. And his throw is incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. Dancing to his left. He's going deep for Brown. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. On now is the Titans punter, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That's taken on the 25. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They go back to the ground, this time Mostert. Mostert hit and he drops the ball. It's picked up by the Titans. And that, Charles, you'd have to think a pretty avoidable mistake.
You're exactly right about that, partner, because it all comes down to covering up the football. Look, turnovers are going to happen. They're inevitable. But in a tie game in the 3rd quarter, those turnovers can change the tide. The ball game, and now it's up to their defense to try and bail them out. Got to take care of the rock.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And his throw here's incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Tannehill. Flushed out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Tannehill staying out there. They're going to go on 4th down. They snap it to Tannehill. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Because his primary job is defending against the pass. You don't often see a cornerback making tackles in the backfield. But he's playing run all the way here.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. And he be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And that one will skip out of bounds as the linesman will mark this thing right at the 15-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Eric Armstead just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Tannehill. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
So pass interference, the call there, always, obviously, Charles, such a subjective call. You agree with the penalty?
Well, from where we're standing right now, I think the officials are tightening things up here in the 2nd half. Maybe a defender gets away with that in the 1st, but this time the flag comes out, and I think it's a good call.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Evans. Room to run past midfield. 78 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
They'll run with Evans. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Gun, a give to Evans. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Evans. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Darius Williams in there to make the tackle.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
On 2nd and 9, Tannehill. Quick slant to Brown. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. A.J. Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Titans are going to take the lead. McCann for the point after. And they will take a 7-point lead now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here's Raymond bringing it out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. And what are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They'll start on the ground with Mostert, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And the last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
You know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The Niners on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really with the 4-minute offense.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Eric Armstead able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Tannehill. Oh, that'll be incomplete. No, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get 1st downs and eat away at the clock.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Tannehill now to throw. caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up fourth.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Now Mike Vrabel unsure of that last call. He's going to throw out the red flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the handoff, this is Mostert. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Lance looking to throw it. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Lance. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They hand it off to Mostert. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Keep in mind they can still get a first down here as they come up on 2nd and inches. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. Here's Lance to throw it. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. To throw, it's Lance. His throw caught at about the 5. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. And this is going to be intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. And the Titans have just about sewn up this football game. Another costly turnover, their second of this second half. And earlier when I asked you your keys to the second half, you said, hey, it may be trite, but I think it's turnovers. That's coming to fruition.
It certainly is. And let's face it, they named the game after it, right? So isn't it the most important thing?
But the football.
Exactly. They named the game for it. Take care of it.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Again, a run with Evans. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Down, it's Evans. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to make it 4th down. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On now is the Titans punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Being chased out left. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Running the counter with Mostert, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Back to throw. That's going to be caught by Samuel. Pitch and catch there, good for 13. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Big stop, let's go. It's a safety three. Whip. That's the whip. Kill.
They'll try it now with Mostert.
Add that one to the good run tally right there. He's been strong throughout this game, and there's no reason to suggest he's going to slow down in the 4th quarter at all. And that's exactly what they need him to do. Keep churning out first downs.
He'll look to throw. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Back to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. And they'll go for it. Lance. And he is across and in for the score. And now they can tie the game in the final stages with the extra point.
Or they can go for 2 and go for the win. Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down 1 is tempted to go for 2. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd carried in overtime.
You do see some fans holding up 2 fingers. Easy now.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who have to actually make that call, are they?
Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. Tannehill to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And he will be taken down, and that means we are headed to overtime. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. We see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Coming up on a 3rd and 9. Opening drive of overtime as they look to convert. First throw in overtime for Tannehill. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
Fielded at the 33. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
And part 1 is done, now part 2. Mostert. Caleb Farley there on the tackle.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game, and I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Lance, a handoff here to Mostert. First down with a little extra from Mostert. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. 49 yards rushing for him now as he was just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Lance, a give now to Sermon. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Again, it's Sermon. Runs over it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Now a give to the big fullback use check. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. And that carry probably not so much for yardage, just to get the spot that you want to kick the field goal.
And any yardage you gain there is really kind of gravy, and this just becomes what my old coach used to say. Get into position to be in position. And that's what they want, the right spot for their kicker to line up the field goal.
Second and goal from the 1. Lance going to sneak it, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for San Francisco, they get yet another victory to finish the year at 14-3 overall. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they finish up the regular season with a mark of 12-5. And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.